All right, so we just watched the latest episode of Sword Art Online, and it's episode 18. We're at the War of the Underworld. Well, spoilers, obviously. Kirito has finally woken up, and we're just going to talk about SAO as a whole up to this point, basically.
Yep.
But I definitely want to talk more about this episode first, just because it's fresh. Like,
Agreed.
we literally just watched it together, and it was slow at some points, mostly the flashbacks, but after all of that was finished and he started ripping out his heart, that was pretty gruesome. Like,
it was. I knew it as soon as he ripped off his shirt. That's something dramatic's gonna happen.
I didn't expect that to happen. Especially like it was kind of gross. Especially to a homophobe like me who doesn't like blood.
Why are you watching anime?
Well, I mean, like, there's a suspension of disbelief if it's real blood and whatnot, but like when he's ripping out his own heart, that has more of a visceral effect on me because like I can sort of feel that, you know?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
especially the
pretty
noises,
gruesome.
the sound effects, really well done. Like, made an impact for sure. But I love the scene where all three of the girls were trying to like pep him up and be like, "Hey, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna do this together. Like, wake up." And then none of it worked. And then Yujiro finally popped up. My boy Yujiro, he's the reason Kirito's awake right now. None of those girls could do it. It was Yujiro.
He chose him over all of them. Which is, I feel like the plot is kind of missing because, you know, they said that the combination of all three of them, of like how they envision Kirito would bring his flecked light or is his like conscious back. And I mean, I didn't see any of that in the flashbacks that happened, and it was just all of the torture scenes to him, I guess, you know? Yeah.
That is a good point. I mean, like, I think that was supposed to be a representation of him suffering, like what state of mind he's in right now. And then those three appearing are essentially the memories, right? Because they didn't actually appear there. They're just Kirito's memories of them there in his mind.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. So it was like him being trapped in his own self, and then
so we got a taste of like what he was going through inside his own, I guess, soul. And then once those three appeared is probably when Higa, the guy outside, with the computer, connected the three. And then I'm assuming when Yujiro popped up, that's when he saw the fourth object.
They definitely could have made the episode a lot better. It was a little underwhelming and very, very expected, very much predictable.
Yeah, that's true. But I do feel like it was satisfying to watch him awake in that way, especially using the perfect art control. Yeah. The weapon art, and freezing everyone.
Yeah, that was good. Finally, some action.
Yeah, but they still need to explain how Poe can brainwash everyone like that. I just don't understand that at all. Like, I feel like everyone should have their own, accounts and be able to essentially control themselves. I mean, it seems like those two new players or two new characters are able to do that. So
I think
that
they tried.
part just confuses me.
Yeah, I think they tried by saying that like his sword takes all of the life force, I guess, the people who have died.
Yeah, the people who have died, making him stronger, but I have no idea how he manages to brainwash people into doing like what he wants, because that seems extremely OP, and there's, at least to my understanding, there's been no explanation on how he's doing that.
Oh yeah, because he never had that ability before, right? It was just like, kill and get their power.
Exactly. So I have no idea how he's doing that, and how some people can resist him and some people can't. It's just really weird. Like, that's one aspect I don't like, that I hope they explain better.
We all know SAO is not perfect at all in terms of plot, but it's really good for entertainment and action.
Definitely.
I would say, at least this season, Alicization, if I'm saying it correctly, is probably one of the better ones out of all the SAO.
Definitely. I mean, the fact that for me, when I watched that scene with Asuna, Sinon, and his sister Sugu, and then none of them really made an impact to me at all. Like, And then Yujiro popped up and like, yes,
What up,
yes.
bro?
this is like, this is what he needed. This is like, and then the other three started popping up again, and I'm like, get away! I just want him to talk to Yujiro. Like, what are you guys doing? Get out of there! I feel like that speaks volumes about how much better, in my opinion, this arc with the whole when he got stuck in essentially the world, the new, what do they call it? The Underworld, I guess. Is the Underworld the name for everything, or just a part of the world?
No, I think it's just Project Alice.
Yeah, well, basically when he met Yujiro the first time,
Yeah.
like once that started and their whole journey started, that felt a lot more impactful to me. Like I liked the character way more.
They took a lot of time. I think because they knew like SAO isn't really going anywhere. They took a lot of time to develop his character and to really impact us, because I think when Yujiro died, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it had an impact on me, let alone, the character. So I think it really is transitioning very well. And I agree that Yujiro probably has more an impact too, because in his time, I guess in Kirito's time frame or his of mind, they grew up together as like little kids, and they went to school, and then he watched him die, and he became an inanimate object.
Yeah. So I guess you could say technically in his mind, he knew him longer than anyone else, except for obviously his sister.
Yeah.
So.
Which is also surprising too. Like I would have expected at least his sister would have an impact.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the way they portrayed the scene too. But talking about SAO in general, I mean, is that everything you wanted to talk about in this episode?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next episode where he can finally whoop some ass after so much waiting.
It's like, I mean, we saw a little bit of action so far, and it's like he can do anything he wants at this point.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes, I have to say, were like dragging on. But the last like 2 minutes of
let's talk
episode
about
18 was good.
Let's talk about all the episodes that came out since the break, basically. So I think it started around 13, and every episode since 13 for me has been okay. I think the best episode to me since after the break was the last one. I think the one we just watched. No, the one before that one.
Okay.
Which was when they actually one of the characters. I think it was AG or something. Mm-hmm. He was fighting Poe, and we got to learn a bit of backstory about Poe. So I'm talking about that episode. I just felt like the action was better. I like that Yuna appeared. Did you watch the movie Ordinal Scales?
I don't think I did.
Yeah. Well, those characters were from that movie, so that's probably why I liked it more. Because it wasn't meaningless to me. It was like a really nice addition.
That makes a lot of sense, because I've only ever watched the seasons. I've never watched the movie.
Yeah, I think it's a good movie overall.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me want to rewatch that episode after I watch the movie, because like when they all came, I was kind of like, okay, random characters from other seasons that I don't remember. So it didn't have a lot of meaning to me, but now that you mention it, I do want to watch it.
Yeah, but that one was one of the better episodes in my opinion out of the season so far. After the break, I feel like the break really didn't do the show justice.
I agree, because after the administrator died, I thought that the whole arc, I guess, up to where the administrator died was really good, and then when it started off where Alice was taking Kirito in and like helping him and whatnot, it kind of fell off for me because it didn't have that much, I guess, like any impact on me at least.
Yeah, and then once the war started, it picked up for me, and I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
But then the break happened, and it's like it made zero sense to put a break there, because for everything that happened before that break, all of a sudden the impact of it has worn down over time. Like you don't remember everything that happened. So like when you see those characters, the one guy, the fighter guy with the girl who can cut through everything. When I saw that scene again, I was like, yeah, I remember they had something. It was kind of superficial a little bit to me, but when I saw that again, I was just like zero impact, because the break, it's been so long since I watched the other episodes that it's like there's not much impact in my opinion.
I I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I think they had the break because of production issues. I'm not too sure. Or was it just a break for the season?
I think it was just supposed to be a mid-season break or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, most animes do it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to the episodes, and then when they finally, I didn't even know that they had put out episodes until you mentioned it to me. And when I started watching it, it was meh, because I'm still waiting for Kirito to wake up. It has been like already, I feel like 10 episodes or just forever.
It's been a long time to not have a main character do like pretty much anything.
Yeah. But overall, at least this Project Alice or Alicization and War of the Underworld, I think is really good compared to all the other SAO ones.
Definitely.
Have you watched all of them as well?
Yes, I've watched all of them. I would say I thought the potential of the first season, like when we were first introduced to everything, was not met, in my opinion, just because I feel like they focused a little bit too much on the romance between Kirito and Asuna, and like their parenthood of that fairy. Yeah, let me Yui. There you go.
Yui.
I think it's Yui. Yeah.
Yeah, Yui is also OP, but in her own way.
Yeah, I feel like her character in SAO I didn't really enjoy that arc. For me, it just felt like, why are you? I mean, yeah, I'm sure some people enjoyed it, but for me personally, I'm like, you're in a world where there's a whole bunch of levels where you can focus on like them trying to get past the levels or like their strategies and how people interact and like what's going on. But you focus on like romance of all things where like you could get that anywhere, in my opinion.
I think she was also first introduced on the season 2, right? Was she in season 1?
She's in season 1 where Asuna and Kirito went on a break or something, and they found her and they were living together and stuff like that.
I completely blocked that out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people liked it, but it was just not my taste. And I thought the potential for like what the first season could be was not met. Like there was just a lot of wasted potential, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of fluff, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of things they could have done, like explore the guilds more, explore just different enemies and stuff like that, and how people coped and what the world was like. More stuff like that versus like Kirito going on different romance journeys. With
they definitely
girls.
Could have made it more realistic, but I do think that SAO has sort of a harem style to it.
Oh, definitely. And that's one aspect I definitely don't like. I
mean, there is better isekai genres, as we have talked about, Rising of Shield Hero.
Yeah, I enjoyed that anime a lot, The Rising of Shield Hero. There's only one season so far, but I think what that anime did really well was explore the already established world's lore. Yeah. Of how, that area in particular did not like the Shield Hero, and that's why he got treated so poorly. Spoilers for that, by the way.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he turns out to be pretty OP. And it does have a degree of like harem style too, as well.
Yeah, a little bit, but not so much to the point where I feel like it takes away from the story.
No. But I like how they position him as a character as well. Like they position him to be this bad guy, and he does kind of fit that characteristic with like a type of mentality where it's like, fuck you people, I'll screw you over. But he like gathers people in need. Like I think her name was Raphtalia.
Yeah, Raphtalia.
Yeah.
It's like naturally he's a good guy, but when the world treats him like that, he's gonna obviously lash out, and he chooses to take the more antagonistic approach and be like, okay, if everyone thinks this about me, like why not just take advantage of that and like actually do things that benefit me as a more villainous character.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Rising of the Shield Hero, because it doesn't fit the typical hero you would see in all these different types of anime who are also in the same genre, because they usually fall into another world and then they rise up and become like this very good, I guess, hero who doesn't cross a line of evil.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what that story did really well was portray that whole being mistreated and then taking revenge, because the king and princess essentially almost got executed. Of course, they weren't going to, but it had a satisfying end to the whole story of him being mistreated and whatnot.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait for more of the anime. I hope it comes out soon. The manga is pretty developed, so if you haven't read it, I would suggest doing that if you can't get enough of Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah, and another one that I thought did really well was Log Horizon. Just their ability to build up the world and explore what's part of the world and how everything works. I thought that's an example of an isekai anime working well, like doing well. And that's what I mean by like SAO. I feel like they didn't explore enough the world and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I also think SAO is pretty controversial. There's a lot of people who
don't
hate
like it.
Yeah. There's also people who love it.
Do you watch some YouTubers, Anitubers that talk about anime?
I don't actually.
No?
I probably should.
No, you don't have to.
I've watched some like reaction videos for anime, but I haven't watched any people who like openly discussed it.
Yeah, but there's this guy who I watch called the Anime Man, and he hates SAO. He thinks it's trash. But I mean, I can understand his points. But
I can't disagree.
It's entertaining overall.
This is like my hot take from one of our previous episodes, if you guys have seen, for Fast and Furious, where I actively defend Fast and Furious because it's entertaining, and that's how I feel about SAO.
Yeah. Not everything has to have an amazing story or amazing characters or anything. If it has great entertainment value, then it can hold its own in the public arena. So
I agree. I think SAO has it. And I have to say that I'll continue to watch it if it keeps putting out more seasons and more episodes.
Yeah, it has great art and great animation, so that's one reason I definitely enjoy watching it. Of course, I will.
Sorry to interrupt, but speaking of which, since you brought up art and animation, I couldn't help but notice the last episode did change up a little bit of the animation as compared to the entire series when Asuna was fighting. Yeah.
It was a good fight. I totally forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like it had more of a art style animation.
Yeah. The art style changed and the animation became more like a bit more fast paced, a bit more poppy, I'd say.
Yeah. It was like a comic being animated, I guess.
Yeah. It was very unique.
If that makes sense. Like you could see like the strokes of the brush strokes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean neither of us are artists, right?
No.
Yeah, don't really know how to draw, so I can't say too much about that. But it was really nice and really fun to watch.
Yeah,
that was a great scene. They finally gave Asuna like a really good scene after like being helpless for so long.
Yeah, which also pissed me off because all of these people were supposed to be OP. Sinon, Asuna, but I mean, I guess it makes sense that they got worn down from battle, but they were all supposed to have like crazy OP powers, but they couldn't even hold their own against the villain.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to explain that with his like ability to absorb the power, but at the same time, fighting off those, I mean, I guess they had thousands of red soldiers, so that's like logically it still sort of makes sense, but at the same time it doesn't. Okay, the plot reason they did it was so that Kirito can rescue them all. That's that is exactly why they did it, just saying.
Yeah, very predictable.
Yeah, but I mean it led to a satisfying awakening for Kirito, so I'll give it a pass.
Yeah.
But overall, like SAO, I think this has been the best arc just when he entered the new world with Yu-Gi-Oh. Definitely the previous seasons have not been as strong to me. For the most part, I enjoyed his arc with Sinon.
Me
but
too.
I feel like they have not done a great job with making the other characters relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the impact when, they all talk to him sort of just felt empty.
I think so too, because the way they introduced Sinon to Alicization, it was kind of forced. I feel like
almost random.
Yeah, like I get it. They're trying to introduce, the old people to save this world, or at least to buy time. But it was just in my opinion, it was kind of forced. But
Yeah.
I did like the arc. I think it was called Gun Gale Online. Gun Gale Online? Gun Gale? One of those. With Sinan.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there was a spin-off with that as well.
I remember now.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I would continue to watch it unabashedly, unshamefully.
Yeah. Maybe we'll make another video just about the overall like Alicization arc once it's done. Because it does feel like it's coming to a close pretty soon, at least from what I remember. Like, I think there's only, 4 to 5 episodes left?
I think so. I would also like to rank all of the SAO series.
Yeah. We'll probably make a video on that.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people have opinions about that too, but it would be nice to have a ranking guide.